A recent medical survey has revealed that couples marrying first or second degree relatives are a major cause of a high infertility rate in the Gulf, as more than 20% of children in the GCC have consanguineous parents. According to the study, there are unique and specific factors leading to a higher infertility rate in the GCC, including social and cultural factors which are very different from Western ones. 4 of these factors that have a significant impact are higher prevalence of couples who are related to each other, vitamin D deficiency, obesity, and the desire to have larger families. The study further highlights that there are differences in treating GCC patients compared to Western ones due to cultural and social issues. Moreover, it was proven that parental consanguinity has been associated with both male and female infertility in multiple cases. In females, it prematurely reduces the ovarian reserve, and amongst males, it causes chromosome Y abnormalities, leading to genetic sperm defects. According to the author of the study, who's the medical director of IVI Fertility Middle East, by the age of 20, women born of consanguineous parents have an extremely low ovarian reserve, which is normally found in women from the age of 40.
First of all, the lack of sun exposure, the vitamin D deficiency, is decreasing significantly the number of eggs. So every woman has a certain number of eggs, and it seems that you have a chronic lack of vitamin D and sun exposure. The quality and the quantity, the number of the oocytes of the eggs declines significantly. The next factor is the marriage within the family. In the medical terminology, we call it consanguinity. Now, initially, we thought if you marry your cousin, that you do not have any fertility issues, and that's the cause. If you would marry your cousin, you have even more children than couples who do not marry their cousins. So the couple itself doesn't have any problems. What we are observing is that the first generation, their offsprings, they do have infertility problem. Every woman has a certain number of eggs, and what we're observing is that if your parents are first-degree cousins, that the daughters have a significantly reduced number of eggs. Last but not least, we know that the UAE, especially all the GCC countries actually, they are dealing and they are facing a big problem with obesity. And we also know that obesity, being overweight, in male and female has a huge impact, with male in the sperm production, quality and quantity, and in female with ovulation, endometrial receptivity, and also genetic information of the oocytes. So basically, we can conclude that this part of the world is facing 3 causes of infertility, which is completely different than in the Western world: obesity, vitamin D deficiency, and parental consanguinity.
Additionally, the study pointed out that parents who are related also have the risk of having a baby with genetic disorders. The doctor also recommends genetic testing for carriers, regardless of pregnancy occurring naturally or through IVF, given the fact that a large percentage of people in the GCC are prone to genetic abnormalities. Generally, parents only realise that they're carriers of serious genetic disorders after an affected child is born. Genetic disorders can't be cured, but they can be prevented, and with a simple blood test, couples can be assured of a healthy pregnancy. If both partners test positive in a carrier genetic test with the same gene mutation, the recommendation is to undertake an IVF procedure and eliminate a genetically affected embryo through PGS screening.
Another interesting thing is not only to look to the chromosomes, but look also to the genes. So every human being has around 25,000 genes, and every healthy human being has, on average, between 2 to 3 abnormal genes. But you don't know it because you're healthy. But imagine you carry an abnormal gene, and your husband is carrying, coincidentally, the same abnormal gene. So you would have 25% risk of having a genetically abnormal child. Now, if you are not relatives with your husband, the risk of having an abnormal child is not high. But if you marry in a society, which is in UAE, you have 60% first or second degree consanguinity, it would be highly recommended to do this, what we call CGT, carriership genetic testing. Within these 25,000 genes, you identify how many genes, bad genes you carry, and we can detect an abnormal embryo and prevent this happening.